This gate used to end careers. They patched the game for years trying to restore balance. Every update removed another way to play. By the time this match loads, the meta is already solved. This isn't commentary, it's a patch history. And the question isn't who won, it's whether the system accidentally created an OP faction. Patch 1, the Moral Rework Update, aka the BLM Expansion Pack. This patch doesn't nerf actions, it rewrites alignment mechanics. It drops during a high chaos world event. Cities are on fire. NPCs are flipping cars. Courthouses are being speedrun. The devs announced that this is actually intended gameplay. Destruction is rebranded as Justice Damage. At the same time, new status effects are added. Racist, misogynist, bigot. These are no longer debuffs you can cleanse. They're account flags. The Herald class, known for being loud, adversarial, unashamed, and resistant to alignment checks, is quietly marked as a future balance threat. Not because of any single exploit, but because they refuse to respect their morals on command. So the system changes. Intent is removed from damage calculations. Outcomes don't matter. Alignment does. If you're flagged, your HP drops to 0 instantly. No combat log review required. On live servers, players learn fast. One wrong voice line does more damage than a riot ever could. So they re-roll. They equip the right banners. They spam the kneel emote. Not because they believe in the meta, but because belief stopped being the win condition. Justice is replaced by reputation farming. Fear becomes the enforcement mechanic. Patch 2. The Sealed Stats Update, aka No Numbers Allowed mode. This patch doesn't delete the scoreboard, it just locks it. As chaos continues, players start noticing patterns. Damage numbers don't line up with patch notes. Certain factions are topping the kill feed. The internal analytics dashboard is still live. Admins can see everything, but the public stat discussion is now classified as griefing. Repeating certain numbers triggers context required. That stat is harmful. Why are you focusing on that? Accuracy no longer matters. Impact does. At this point, most stat-based classes quit. Analysts, moderates, spreadsheet mains, anyone whose build relies on numbers realizes stats no longer deal damage. They just get you reported. They either go silent or start speaking in riddles, but one class adapts. Denied emotional attacks and denied moral authority, it specs fully into structural damage, scale, ratios, containment math, not because it persuades, but because it forces a response. The sealed scoreboard becomes an exploit trigger. Patch 3, Anarcho-Tyranny mode. This is experimental and was never fully announced, so the patch isn't documented, you just feel it. After the riots fade and the event music stops, enforcement doesn't normalize. Minor crimes are ignored if they align with dev intent. Speech violations are punished instantly if they don't. Violence gets lore justification. Words get preemptive nerfs. Punishment becomes random enough to teach fear, but inconsistent enough to deny appeal. Players aren't banned for what they do, but for what they might cause chat to do. This patch kills experimentation, and only 2 builds survive. The Compliant NPC, maxed submission, 0 aggression, and invisible on the minimap. And the Reputation immune builds that are already permaflagged and have nothing left to lose. Everyone else logs off. This isn't coordination, it's natural selection in a hostile meta. Meta compression, why only 1 build counters. After 3 patches, the meta collapses. Every moral class is soft-locked. Every stats class is muted. Every hybrid build is unplayable. What remains is a single counter build, not because it's popular, but because it's immune to the system's win conditions. Years of constant nerfs accidentally trained it. The public match. By the time the public duel happens, the lobby is empty. This isn't commentary, it's a ranked match. 2 builds queue up. The Warden with the abilities of frame control, moral CC, and crowd management. And the Herald, known for forbidden stats, frame break, and rep immune passives. Round 1. The Herald drops a forbidden stat, and the Warden fires the classic finisher, Racist. Normally this ends the match, but the Herald doesn't cleanse, he doesn't emote, he converts the debuff into structure. If X offenders exist, Y containment is required. No intent, no vibes, just math. The Warden nitpicks a decimal, a desperation move to regain frame control. The Herald accepts instantly and continues, using passive reframe ability to illustrate the miscalibration made by the Warden. It shifts from the number is lower to why is this phenomenon allowed to exist at this rate in the meta in the first place? And the tempo flips.
That's 100% true. Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
But all of them?
No, for the most part.
What does the most part mean? What percentage of American blacks would you like to see in prison?
Whatever the percentages of the murderers. I think it's 1 in 20 black men will commit a murder in their lifetime. So maybe let's say that 5%.
Less than 1 in 100 black US men commit murder. That's the most up-to-date crime statistics in America.
That's not true. I've seen other statistics. They say 1 in 20 will eventually commit a murder.
So your rate means that you're saying that 5 times as many black men commit murder as the official crime statistics say.
Yeah, there's a report, I believe, on X by Data Hazard. I'll have to go and double check that for you. But yes, there's some pretty shocking evidence that says that it's far more alarming than you would think.
Okay, but you would accept that the official crime statistics are 1 in 100, or you wouldn't accept that statistic?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, but I've seen other evidence. Like I said, Data Hazard on X, I believe, produced a report about a year ago. It said 1 in 20. But, I mean, whether it's 1 in 20 or 1 in 100, that's a lot of people, Piers. I mean,
sure,
this is
a lot of white
problem.
people commit murder too.
Round 2. The warden pivots after the race gate fails. He doesn't target policy. He doesn't target stats. He targets lifestyle alignment. Voice lines fired. You're removing incentive. Why would anyone pair with women? Have you completed the intimacy quest? Why hasn't your bloodline progressed? This is the normalcy gate, which simultaneously probes social legitimacy, pairing progress, desire alignment, and crowd approval. In earlier metas, failing any of these could cause an instant wipe. Crowd hostility, alignment flags, and forced apology animations. But an unexpected modifier appears. The warden assumes that both players are running modern casual server rules, and they're not. The Herald's passive card has been revealed, Sacramental Rule Set. Under this passive, certain quest lines are gated behind permanent vows, and shortcut mechanics are disabled. The effects of this passive are that the intimacy quest is locked behind the vow contract, casual pairing is disabled, bloodline progression only unlocks post-contract, and shame damage is reversed when used improperly. So the warden asks, have you completed the intimacy quest? And the system response, that stat is not required on this class. Under this rule set, using intimacy XP as proof is an illegal argument. Shaming uncompleted quests is a misplay. And treating vow-locked content as casual is a rules violation. And the warden keeps pushing. Voice lines escalate. You're undesirable. No one wants to pair with you. You're an unviable build. Another passive is triggered, Reputation Immune. Under this passive, the player no longer gains or loses social HP. The effect of this is that Shame CC does 0 damage, Insult Spam converts to confirmation, and crowd reaction is decoupled from the outcome. The animation plays. The insults land audibly, but the hit markers never appear.
But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
See, basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid. Wow.
That's the thing, though. You boomers, it's
you think
always
you're an
get
expert
laid,
in women,
free love.
given you've never got laid?
Yeah, we are going back to the Stone Age. You're absolutely right. This, you know, you're talking about empathy and your kids are empathetic and they would never laugh at a joke about the Holocaust and you're a misogynist. You're a simp yourself. You're totally henpecked. That's the problem.
Final backfire. Moral desync. The warden is now stuck. To continue the attack, he must promote shortcut intimacy, treat desire as authority, or violate his own class rules. Warning pop-up. Alignment desync detected. Attacker is appealing to mechanics forbidden by equipped class. Round result. Normalcy gate failed. Reason. Invalid stat assumptions and moral rule set mismatch. Bug confirmed. Gate no longer functions. The Herald never raises his voice. He never changes loadout. Count, scale, mirror. The gate still exists. The warden still stands there. But the collision box is gone. This is what an OP build looks like. Not overpowered by design, but by selection pressure. Like a broken shooter meta where only one gun survives every nerf, the system trained the very thing it was meant to suppress. Once that exploit is demonstrated publicly, the match is already over. The devs can patch again, but everyone's already playing a new game.